for native sons of San Francisco. We did not grow up in the Mission proper. We grew up in the bordering neighborhood of Glen Park.
Yep.
But we grew up in the Mission. You understand?
You hung out with the right
Our
guys.
formative years were here. The American Indian Center down there on 14th and Valencia was kind of our home away from home as little kids when my mom was involved in the American Indian movement. And, you know, our first jobs, first kisses, first dances, you know, all kinds of things. And now 30 years ago, Peter and I shared an apartment right there on 23rd and Bartlett. And the reality is I don't live here in the city anymore. I don't live in the neighborhood, but I still consider San Francisco, but the Mission in particular, part of my home. Because all the people I hold nearest and dearest, my mother, my brother, my sisters, they're all still here in the city. And from what they tell me, they feel under siege. You know, change is a part of life. We understand and accept that. And change is, for the most part, good, because that's what evolution is. We change with the times. But in terms of what's happening here in the city in general, but here in the Mission District specifically, is really horrifying, actually, and ultimately heartbreaking, because to the extent that I'm aware of some of the statistics that Roberto has shared with me, is that thousands of families, women and children, are being displaced. And all really in the name of money, with no respect for the traditions that have gone on before here, for the community that is enriched by all kinds of different people, not just Latinos, but artists, people who call this place home for a very specific reason. It's always been a place of tolerance, and a place of acceptance, and a place to be yourself freely. And that element, that quality that makes this place special, it's disappearing quickly. And what it's being replaced with is a kind of a sense of entitlement. And I'm not talking about, it's not necessarily it's not a racial issue really we're talking about. It's a class issue. This is a class warfare. And people who have money, I know a lot of them, there's a sense of entitlement that goes along with that wealth. And a sense of privilege that is not even a consideration in daily life. That's just part of the way they operate. And that's kind of what's going on here, from what I understand, is that there is it's a feeling of entitlement to take whatever's there and available. If you can't afford it, I can. You can't afford to pay $8,000 for a 2-bedroom here in the Mission? I can. See ya. That's not right. No matter how you slice it, that's just not right. So, you know, when my brother Roberto called me up to come up and show some love and support, I was only too happy to do it. This is as much a fact-finding mission for me to get up to speed on all the specifics as it is a demonstration of love that I have for all of you. I don't know you specifically, but I know that you're here in a collective spirit, one of support and love for your community, and hope that it continues in the way that you have known it for years. So I want to thank you for having me come up, and you know, to whatever degree I can be of help, and you know, I know money is the gasoline that makes the engine go. So you know, I'm gonna pony up my own donation and get things started off right. And you know, it's going to take a lot more than money though to get Proposition I to pass.
We're gonna do it.
There's one thing. That's one thing that the supporters of this proposition have over the people with money, and that's all kinds of heart and a whole lot of spirit. And the passion that will be distributed by word of mouth from neighborhood to neighborhood with the message, not here, not going to happen here, can't happen here, because as you say, if it does happen here, it's over. It's a spread across the nation and across the globe. It's already happening, but it has to be stopped. So I support you, I stand with you, and do whatever I can to aid you in getting this thing passed.
Yay!
And my brother Peter,
Woohoo! Peter.
Come on, bro. Come on, take a word, please.
Come on, Peter.
I want to thank my brother Roberto for opening his home. Like you said, you know, many people have come to this door here seeking inspiration, encouragement, nourishment, emotional and otherwise. And I've been one of those people who've come through this door, and my brother's always helped me. So as he mentioned to you, I'm doing this film on one of the great leaders in our community, Dolores Huerta, who really is the queen of organizing, in my view. I've been working on the film for going on 3 years, and one of the things that I've heard, but I have actually taken in and experienced and learned, is that when you're up against what we're up against with Proposition I, we're up against corporate power, we're up against money, you know, and the money owns the influence in the halls of government. And so the only way that we can defeat that is by uniting, by coming together, and having the passion, but also having strategy, and organizing. And that's exactly what my brother Roberto was talking about, is getting organizing ourselves and working together in a very strategic way. And that's the kind of people power that I learned from Dolores. People power, it starts on the earth. It starts in the roots. And that's where the real change happens. Real and lasting change starts from the ground up. And that's what I see that's happening here. I mean, that's how they got the farm workers movement.
That's right.
That's how the civil rights revolution started.
Yes,
That's how the women's movement started. That's how the American Indian movement started. It started from the bottom with the people in homes just like this, and then we go out, we tell our friends, we tell our relatives, and it spreads out. But we have to be organized, and we have to be strategic, so we can direct our passion and what we want. You know, we want fairness, we want justice. You know, there are too many people who are getting displaced, too many children, too many families, just having a hard time just making ends meet. You know, I was telling one of the sisters, we're probably gonna be out of here in a year because we can't afford it. You know, one of my kid goes to school at Fairmont Elementary. One of the teachers, they had to move to Richmond. You know, her 2 kids and husband, they had to move to Richmond because it's an Airbnb now, her place, and there's no recourse. So I really do believe what Roberto says. This is going to set a precedent. Because this is not just happening in San Francisco, it's happening in Oakland, it's happening in Southern California, it's happening in the East Coast, it's happening over in Europe, it's happening in all parts of the world. So I'm just here, I'm proud that my brother Roberto's here, you know. I had to be here for the movie, man.
Take back our city.
So you know, like Benjamin said, you know, we stand with you, we are you, you know, we're with you. And I'm probably gonna go out with my bro Roberto and knock on some doors and, you know, do some phone banking and whatever else I can. But that's what it takes.
Yep.
So signs and everything.
Yay, 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 yay!